Hey man, Assalamualaikum. How are you? Long
Walaikum
time.
assalam, Dawood. How's it going, man? Long time. Yeah, it's been a
Alhamdulillah,
while.
man.
I've been
Yeah,
looking
you too,
forward to
mate.
recording another episode.
Yeah, how are
How about
things?
yourself?
Things back to normal?
Things are back to normal. Weather is
Alhamdulillah.
hot, 30 plus degrees.
Wow. And it's just
Wow,
April.
wow, 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 wow,
Wow,
wow.
wow, wow,
Oh
wow,
yeah,
indeed.
man.
Living in Texas,
Yeah,
living in hot Texas is tight. Um,
tight money.
so
But yeah,
yeah,
you know what? Let's to reiterate, the reason we have these CST episodes, bring on guests, talk about your interests, talk about your life. Whatever interests, whatever's going on. So
yeah.
go ahead, would you want to kick it off?
Yeah, man. Excited again, and we thought that this time around we'll bring in a guest, so make it a little more exciting. And I know we had a really heavy hitter topic last couple of times, so inshallah we can keep it a little bit more lighthearted. And obviously it's just conversations, right? And I think it's good we be having this, and it really gives a window for everyone, right? So with that, I don't even know, mashallah, this next guest, man, it's really hard to really introduce someone of this caliber, right? And I don't, like Zishan, I'm out of words here. I'm just gonna like I can't, man. I'm just gonna say this that this person should just turn on their camera at this point because, mashallah, like, do you have anything to say otherwise? Like, I don't know how to introduce this
Um,
person, man.
I'll
There's
just give
so
him the
many great
title.
ways.
I'll just give him the title of the meme master,
The meme master,
and
yes.
people should understand who that is.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't
Okay,
by this point,
this is the signal.
yeah. Mr. Meme Master, please reveal yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Dawood. Assalamu alaikum,
Walaikum
Zishan.
salam. Walaikum salam, meme master.
How are you, sir?
How's it going,
Amen.
guys? Alhamdulillah, good, good.
Alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. I don't even remember the last time I actually physically saw you, man. And I'm talking
It's,
to
yeah,
Omer, by the way.
it's, it's been a while. Did we not meet during Chai Shai?
I think so, but that
Uh,
was yeah, you sat in
a
your
month ago
car.
or
You,
so?
you barely got out, and it was a cold day, so I
It's,
understand, right? But
it's been a while
Um,
since we shook hands and hugged for sure.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so
it is a
yeah,
it's
strange
been a
feeling.
year. It's been a year and a month since COVID has started. Um, Yeah, I remember March, everything started locking down. Omer, I think you remember when the NBA decided that they're no longer going to have any basketball games.
I remember the exact
Uh,
date.
y-
Of course you
yeah,
do.
what was that like? What happened when that announcement came out? What were you feeling? What was happening in your life?
Well, yeah, March 11th, right?
I
Rudy
think
Gobert.
so.
They announced Rudy
Omer,
Gobert tested positive.
Omer doesn't remember any important dates, with the wife, but he's like March 11th, 2020.
I swear to God, I was so mad at Rudy Gobert that day, but it was inevitable though that they were gonna shut down everything. So
Insert
whatever.
me. That would,
Sorry?
yeah. I was gonna say insert the I'm inevitable meme.
Right? Yeah. And I'm sitting here, you starting the sports in conversation. I'm just gonna say, am I a joke to you? I like, I think this whole podcast is just gonna be like meme references, guys.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, that would be great.
given the setting, we have the meme master. I think it's just gonna be memes left, right, and center. But no,
Oh my
honestly,
God.
Makes sense.
it's I'm sure it was a very heavy hitter for you. I think it's one of those days where you probably pretty upset. Wife had to make some really good, bigari begging and stuff, right? Just to get his mood up.
Yes. Send him some
I,
memes.
So he
it's
needs
all
the
right. I
meme
mean,
care
it's like
package. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, it was fine. It's it's just so busy with life in general, right? With the two kids and work and stuff. So it's all right. The time went by pretty fast though. But
Good stuff,
Yeah,
man.
I'd have to agree there too. Even like after I think Sishan left somewhere in the middle of COVID, right? And it's like, what? Like it's been
it
6 months, I think we were saying
7 months,
yesterday.
6, 7 months. Yeah,
Oh
six,
my
7 months, I
God.
think.
yeah, it's
And
pretty
you're
much
just
all a
like,
Time,
blur.
wow, how
time flies. Yeah,
just
time
like that.
flies. I mean, this year we're all going to be, most of us will be 32 years, which is crazy. So, I
Really didn't
mean,
need you to put
on
that
the
in the
top
recording, by the way.
on the topic of time and years and how old we are, I mean, let me ask Amir, what
Yep,
has, give us a snapshot, bring us up to date. How did you get here?
right. Well, I guess we'll start from the beginning. Um, I don't know if you guys know, I was born in Jeddah in 1989. I was there until I was about 8 or 9. So I moved to Canada in 1998. So I've been there till I was 8 or 9, and Dawood, I don't know if you know, at one point, me, my brother, Zishan, Faraz, Ahmed, and his brother Salman all went to the same school in Jeddah.
Not for
What?
us, not for us.
No? Not Faraz?
No, Faraz lives in Riyadh.
Oh, did he?
Wow.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mine is Faraz. Oh, right.
Seriously?
We all went to the
Yes.
same school,
Yeah,
International
yeah.
Indian Embassy School of Jeddah. I think
Yes.
it might have been maybe when we were in grade 2 or something.
Yes.
So you might
Because
have
I have
Grade
actually
the
two, I was
even
in Canada.
known each other. Like, obviously, it's hard to remember it from that age, but you might have even been in the
Mhm.
same class and stuff, no?
No,
Not
no,
class. We're in the same
not class.
year, but different classes.
Same year, different
Yeah.
classes. Okay, okay.
If it
Yeah.
was same
Wow.
class, we would have known. Um,
Fate.
I have
Fate's
the
realigned,
yearbook
guys.
from I know I have the yearbook for when I was in grade 3, and
Wow.
I don't think Zishan's in there. I think I saw Ahmed in there. There's no name, so it's hard to tell who's in there and not.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
it's
No,
crazy.
I did not
Crazy.
know that. That's pretty cool. For the guys and everyone else watching, that's a pretty cool fact. And see, that's what I love about these things. We talk, and then something like this comes off. So going from there, like growing up in Saudi, like how would you describe your experience versus like like we visit, right? And we see a very different image. We see a very different view of the place, right? Like for us, we've only gone like for Umrah and Hajj and this and that, right? But you like, and again, feel free to chime in. I think Zishan, you lived there for a few years too, right? So like I
Yeah, till I
guess
was 7.
yeah. So you guys have very similar age gaps. So like for you, Omer, like how was it different, would you say? Just like growing up there, and then obviously coming here afterwards, right? Like once you moved here, was there a huge culture shock, right? Like for me, coming from Pakistan was a big one, right? So like in your instance, how did you feel? How did you merge in?
Yeah. So Saudi was a lot of fun. I mean, from like I was 8 or 9 when I came here. So from a kid's perspective, it was a lot of fun. There's amazing food in Jeddah. There's like all the
Kapsa.
fast food is halal, so you could literally eat anything. There's Al Baik,
Kapsa.
um, there's kapsa, there's mandi, there's a lot of like Jeddah food like
Yeah.
mutabak and fool and you know,
Sugarcane juice.
yeah, sugarcane juice. I don't know if I've had that there, but I love sugarcane juice. Uh, Also just like even the milk, the milk is different in Saudi. I love the milk so much there,
Yeah.
and it was so weird because when I came here, I couldn't really tolerate the milk here. It was just so different.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when after I got married and the next year we went to Umrah, me and my wife Sana. And I was telling Sana like, oh, you're gonna. I mean, I'm telling her about Saudi because I grew up there. I'm telling her, um, the milk. You got to try the milk there. And then she's like, why would someone talk about milk when you're going to, you would talk about like the food there. You
Yeah.
talk about some places that are really good there. Like why milk, right? And I mean, she hasn't been to Saudi before this, so like her idea of Saudi is probably like, she's used to Canada being very hygienic and clean and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and she might have thought that, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna try the milk there." But then when she, came to Saudi and tried it, she loved it. And it's not just milk, right? It's the ice cream, even like the
Yeah.
puddings and yogurt. You
The
know what I'm talking
Lovin.
about? Have you guys tried it there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Same.
used to always get the Lovin when I was there. But
Dublin is the
I'm talking
best,
about
man.
recently when I went for Hajj, right?
Yeah.
Strawberry Lovin. Mm.
Yeah.
But you talking about camel
But
milk on there or just regular milk?
No, just regular milk.
Oh, okay.
I know
You
what
guys
he's
didn't
talking
notice
about.
that?
No, no, I did.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was the fat content or the fact that the way the milk
like,
is pasteurized and stuff here. But
yeah,
yeah, there was definitely it
it's
felt
different.
heavier, right? Even if the full cream milk here did not feel this like it is nowhere close to that.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed it in Pakistan as well. And I think it has to do with the way they pasteurize the milk and stuff here, or just whatever the process is done. It's really interesting because back home, like, I remember even growing up, like, you would have milk. It was heavy. Like you would, if you had milk, you felt like like you're full, if that makes sense, right? Like here
It was like
it's,
milkshake.
yeah, it's like I think, and I think to some extent you're right, Omer. And obviously they make the stuff with the same milk, so it's like the taste is like exponentially better. Now you got me thinking about
Yeah,
ice cream, man. Seriously.
I don't know what it
Man,
is, but it's
I
just,
had a milkshake yesterday.
Oh man, can you not tease, man? Please.
You know, cookies and cream milkshake.
Cookies and
But
cream
sorry,
milkshake. Oh,
let's cut back to Omer. So
Kawartha
yes,
Dairy.
Omer. Oh man, yeah. So you love milk. Okay.
yes. Well, milk in Saudi. But yeah, growing up in Saudi, it's nice because like we went to Makkah and Medina quite often. Makkah we would go to at least once a month, to be honest. On the
Yeah,
weekend you would just drive down there. It's like
yeah.
45-minute drive, 45 minute to an hour, and it was nice. I have really good memories of going to Saudi, out to Makkah and to Medina, and obviously I had family there too. I had cousins there. Um, so I have really good memories of visiting them and things like that. Yeah.
What's one memory that sticks out for you when you're
Yeah.
there?
Well, when I'm in Saudi,
Yeah. Saudi, Mecca, Medina.
I I just remember playing a lot. Just I used to live in a so actually when I was in Jeddah, we moved 2 times. So I used to live in a place called Azizia in Jeddah, and then we moved to a place called Saudia City. It's like a guarded complex
I've been to both
where,
actually.
yeah, you've been to Saudia City.
Yeah. Friend of
Yeah,
mine's
so the
father
normal,
worked there, so yeah.
right. So my dad worked for Saudi Airlines. So
Ah, okay,
he
nice,
he
nice, yeah.
so we lived in Saudia City. We moved there when I was 4 or 5, I would say. And we used to live in a building, and then we moved to a house about a year or two later, and then I was there
Yeah.
until I moved. But Saudi City, it's interesting. The normal rules don't apply there. So there's a lot of non-Muslims living there.
Yeah.
And I remember, sorry, Zishan, you were talking about memory. I remember, I mean, this is not the memory I wanted to share, but I remember one time there's a central marketplace there, and I remember it very, very distinctly there, and I was shocked when I saw it. We were in the car, we were just, I think, rolling into the parking lot or something, and I saw like basically a white lady, and she was wearing like a skirt. I think that's coming up to her knees or something. And when I saw that, I was shocked because you don't normally see that in Saudi. And because you're used to seeing like women in black
Abaya.
abayas with a
Yeah.
niqab or without a niqab. I was like, what the heck? When did this start happening, right? It's so weird. But yeah,
The revolution had begun. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. From what I was told by, it was a friend's father who worked there. So when I went first time, he actually met with us, and because my friend, he was in Riyadh, so his dad actually came by from Jeddah. This is like the last day we were leaving, and then he took us in, and then he basically explained the whole thing to me, right? He's like, "Oh, this is basically a slice of North America within Saudi Arabia." Like that's how he put it, which was really interesting because they had parks in there, and it's like a totally
yeah,
different, like, position. If you walk into these places, you'd be like, I'm in Canada. Like it's so weird. And then,
Mm.
like literally like outside the gate is just like everything is Saudi, but you go in there, it's like clean. They got parks, they got like everything for everybody. They've got gyms, and then like Omer said, right? Like you have non-Muslims living there, and they're just
Yeah.
being normal. Like they're doing whatever they
Right.
do in another country, right?
yeah.
And I found that
Okay.
really interesting. But yeah, so cool. What was the memory that you were actually gonna share?
I don't know. I didn't think of one. But no, I wanted to say Saudi City. There were, I think, like 9 swimming pools in there or community centers.
Wow.
And then I think
Yeah.
one pool was just for women. So women can just, uh,
Nice.
obviously they can swim there. Um, I've been there because I was a child. I remember
Of
being there
course.
in the women's only pool. Weird. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, and they have a supermarket in the middle of it. They have, I mean, there's also a ground there. There's a big cricket ground. There's basketball nets there. There's one masjid in there.
Man,
I
Uh,
remember there's an
wondering
actual Al
why.
Baik location in there
crazy.
as well, right? I mean, there was now when I
No,
went.
not. Oh, there was. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There used to be a theater in there, a
Oh
movie
wow.
theater.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I know, and they
Wow,
broke
wow,
it
wow, wow,
down.
wow, wow, wow.
Wow, 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 indeed,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think when by the time I moved there, it was already broken down.
Oh, interesting.
Um, yeah, but it used to be there. So I'm obviously they must watch movies
Yeah,
there in the
yeah.
Right.
theater, probably American movies.
Or Bollywood.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered there was a concert there,
Oh
and
wow.
I remember like we were just walking by, and it was literally like a concert. There's like a band or whatever they're playing, um, some random songs. But yeah, stuff like that would happen in Saudi City. Yeah.
Nice.
I've been
Cool.
Anyway,
to the Azizi area too. That area is very like it reminds you of India and Pakistan because it
this
literally
Desi.
it's very desi, right? Like Zishan, like
Yeah.
imagine like just walking in the street in Pakistan. That's what it felt like. Because when I went
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
to visit,
I
like
can
I was
recall
like,
that.
I was just no, I'm not kidding. Like how you see in like movies and TV, like anywhere, right? Like you see
Yeah,
how like when they show like a montage when you're watching your favorite Bollywood movie, right? And then they're showing that,
of
where
course.
it's like literally like
Hashtag
just
Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
yeah, it's like wires hanging and everything. Like yo, I felt like I was like, this is giving me very Karachi feelings, man. And then everyone's like Desi like there too, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it fits the bill. But yeah, good stuff. And then you
Yeah. It's
moved in '98, right? I
yeah.
didn't meet you until 2005. Interesting. So there's a gap there, obviously. And did
Yeah.
you always live there in the like when you first moved? Were you on like in the west side of Mississauga, or were you in Mississauga even?
No, so we lived. If you guys know Sheridan Mall,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roche Court, man.
that's where I live.
Roche Court
Nine.
gang,
Yeah.
rise up.
It's 1970 Fowler Drive. Yeah, I guess right in front of Rose Court.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that area. Okay. So that's where I was, from 98 till 2000, and then we moved to the house that I'm in. Since then,
Nice.
it's been 2001. I think we moved here, so it's been
20,
20 years,
so
20
21
years.
almost.
years.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. Wow,
long
mashallah. Good
time.
stuff, man.
Mashallah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
yeah, and
20
then
years. 2000 is
20.
20 years ago, guys.
Let's not talk about that, man. But very interesting. And so I think I'm assuming you started Erindale from grade 9 and everything because it was all pretty much that's the only high school in the area. I think. I mean, you could choose to go to another one. So because I was gonna get into Omer's how do we say obsession with ball, and believe it or not, guys, I don't know who remembers I don't know who was watching remembers this, but we used to call him Brother Omer. Who remembers? Like, do you remember that, Zishan?
Brother Omer, mashallah.
Look how far we've come, and
Sharif,
Now
Sharif
you guys
Omer.
straight up
Sharif
dropped the brother.
Innocent. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but like Omer has always been like, mashallah, religiously heavily involved as well. And I can't speak for past like before grade 11, but that's where I met him in grade 11, right? I met him in at Erindale and Erindale Secondary School, and it's so funny because the reason I met him was I was looking for the prayer room.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And our brother here was the brother Omer was the prayers coordinator, along with a bunch of other
Nice.
guys like the Faruqi brothers, and this
Yeah.
Omer guy. I don't know his last name, but
Right.
now think about it, right? 2005 or so, right? You have brother Omer, prayers coordinator. 2021, we have the meme master. Can we just talk about this transition a little bit, please? Because like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't see
I
why it can't be both.
no,
Yeah, Dawood.
you have to understand, man. Okay, there's this one video that Rafi or Wasif Faruqi made. Okay, this was like high school graduation, and it was an MSA video. I'm pretty sure it's either grade 11 or grade 12, so I'm pretty sure it's a graduation like thing. It was like
Grade 12.
MSA
Okay.
dinner. You should see Omer in there, okay? If I can find it, I swear I'll share it with you guys. It is so cute. It's like they're basically recording him and they're just asking him to give a few minutes about being the prayers coordinator. And you see that guy, you don't understand, man. It's like this pure soul. It is literally this innocent guy, and you're like, and now you know, right? Like 20, whatever, not 20, like I'd say what, so 15, 16 years later, and you're like, hmm, where did this kid go? Like we've
Man,
No,
corrupted
I
him
mean,
so much, but no, no,
he
I'm
met
not
no,
corrupting
it's
him, but
yeah, he was introduced to Dawood, and that was his influence.
exactly.
no, man, I'm telling you, up until university, he was the same. It wasn't until like once he met the rest of like all of us, I wasn't the only culprit, but I know for the first couple of
So
years it was really interesting. And oh, and what did you used to do in the accounting in the classes? There was something very specific you did. Was it?
Not sleeping, right?
Well, I mean, besides sleeping, no, no, no. You always were doing something on your laptop. Yes, of course, watching Raptors games. Imagine this. We're in a locked. We're in the North Building in UTM. Okay,
UTM you're
and
talking about. Okay.
North Building. I think it was North Building. Okay, Shafiq Virani's,
Yes.
Islam, Welcome to Islam or something religion, right? Like religion class. Okay, Zishan, picture
Yeah.
this. This is a
okay.
cinder block room, right? You can barely get signal, and there's maybe like one outlet. So he and Arif would be like, no, we're going there early. And the class was like 6 to 8 or something. Okay. These guys wanted to get early. Two reasons. They wanted the wall outlet, obviously. Second was to get, because the thing is, once you connect to the Wi-Fi, and remember, this is a like cement room, right? Like the whole building
I
was really
remember
meant,
those. Yeah,
the
right.
Wi-Fi
Oriole.
signal there
Yeah,
was like really tough. You know how
yeah.
many times that like I had to give up my, remember, because it was like a Wi-Fi allotment, right? Because these guys wanted to watch the game.
Oh
Like
yes, the bandwidth. Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
bandwidth, right? Because we would all run out. I think it was a weekly bandwidth, and these guys wanted to watch the game.
Oh my gosh,
And
man,
imagine
UTM
me,
days.
zero sportsing, and these guys are both like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and I'm just like, what am I doing here?
Those are facts. When weren't watching basketball, like I was playing NBA Live on my laptop
There you go.
in the
Wow.
class.
So
Man,
tell me,
that's
like,
fun
what
times.
what was it about? Like, I think we asked Faraz this question too, and for him it was more coming to Canada and then just the, I guess, the obsession or I don't want to say obsession, but like I guess influence with a lot of kids with ball and everything. Like, and I think it just depends on who you hang out with. Like me, I had other friends too who played ball, but just, never really phased me, right? But like for yourself, would you say you had this interest there too, or is it also a thing for you? Like when you moved here, you kind of went like, oh my God, like this is the most amazing sport ever. Everything else sucks, right? No?
Right. No, when I first came here, I was not into basketball. I don't know if I even heard of basketball actually before I came here. And I think I was more into cricket at that time. And I got introduced to basketball. And I don't know how. I mean, we had family friends that were into basketball, so they would kind of play it, and I was kind of forced to play it, and I started liking it. I actually started following the Raptors the year after Zishan, you would know the Toronto versus Philadelphia series of 2001. You know, that
Yeah,
semifinals showdown
yeah.
between Iverson and
Allen
Carter.
Iverson.
So
Yes.
the year after that, I started following Raptors, and yeah, and
We're
yeah,
hitting
it's just
levels of detail that, that's beyond science right
Man.
now, guys.
For me, it
Just
was like just my friends. I used to have some close friends that I went to school with. Um, and it was that we used to watch every year the All-Star Weekend. And that's when it was really interesting, like 99, 2000. And then 2000 was when they had the really, really good dunk competition, right? That's that year.
2000.
Vince Carter. Wasn't it? That's the one with Vince Carter
That's
with
the
the
one, yeah.
crazy dunks?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was my influence, um, and introduction into the Raptors and just continuing to follow them. So I would say family, friends, or like friends that I went to school with who were family friends as well. That's what brought me into
yeah.
Yeah.
being a Raptors
and
fan, I guess.
But why
and
why
though it
Raptors? Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
We live in Toronto.
yeah, we live in Toronto, and also Vince Carter.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain how big he was and how fun he was to watch. He was literally the most fun player in the NBA. Because he used to get the most
Explosive.
votes for the All-Star game for years.
Yeah.
Like even Michael Jordan's last year, in 2001, 2002, whenever it was, Vince Carter was voted in as a starter over him. Like he got
Oh,
more
I
votes
didn't
than
know
Michael
that.
So
Jordan
what?
I didn't
for the
even know
All-Star
that.
game.
Wow.
Vince
Wow.
Carter
Okay.
gave up his spot to Michael Jordan so he could
I
start,
remember
Just
that.
just honor
Yes.
him. Yeah.
but like Vince Carter
Yeah.
would get the most votes in the All-Star game for multiple years. You know what I mean? It was more than 2 years for sure.
So
It's crazy.
Hmm.
He was
what I'm
really
what I'm
popular.
getting, what you're really saying is that he was the real MVP. Sorry, I don't know if you get that joke.
I don't get it.
I've been waiting for like last 30 seconds to make that joke.
I
Oh, you're talking about the Kevin Durant. Oh, you're the
Kevin
real
Durant,
Oh,
but
it's
MVP.
not. Oh, it's
it doesn't
different.
apply
See,
here.
this is my
No.
knowledge of sports thing, right? Like this is how
Good
much
try.
like
Good try, David. Good try.
I was like, oh my God, is this the same guy I've been like
Let's
debating? I'm like, you know
let's
what? Who
just
cares?
let's just cut back to Omer. Omer, continue.
Yeah.
But
Oh
no,
man.
and then I got really into the Raptors. I don't know why or how, but I just did, and I would get into the stats. It's funny because we didn't have cable most of the time, so I would end up listening to the radio for the Raptor games, and then I
Mhm.
would wait
That's
for the
dedication.
highlights to come on like CBC News or Global TV or something.
Nice.
That's how I could watch Raptor games. Like I would listen on the radio and then watch the highlights.
See, this is one of my
Or
regrets. Sorry, go ahead. Or end? Or
and
antenna?
then if it was a really good game, I would try to find a torrent of like the full game and then download it and watch it.
So this is
It's crazy,
so
man.
post game you would watch it. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. But now we have Zishan's IPTV. We can watch it anytime on the
Or
phones,
or 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 in the
live,
middle, guys.
Hashtag IPTV.
Hashtag
live.
IPTV plugin. This video is not sponsored, just so you know. We're not get, we're not getting any
No, it's all right. I
sponsorships.
just
That's okay.
no,
It's funny.
but yeah, it's incredible how far technology has come that
Oh yeah.
you can watch a live game on your phone.
Can you explain to everyone the technology setup you have right now, actually?
Right. So very high tech. What I'm doing is I have a shoe box and then another box on top, and then I have a laptop on top of it, and then I have my phone on the laptop as a
Yes,
mount.
that's he's using his laptop as a tripod
Yeah,
for
as a
his
tripod
phone.
slash mount. Yeah, for his phone. That is again, we're reaching levels here, guys, that we've never reached before. And I was gonna say that's one of my regrets, man, because I should have started Jai Shai earlier because now we have people throwing in streams, we have people, doing IPTV packages, we have, this podcast. Like sometimes I wonder, if because believe it or not, I actually thought about disbanding the group in the middle when we had a very really dry spell. I'm glad I didn't, but yeah, it just I think soon Zishan will feel the weight of being the admin and being the guy who has to carry everything. But although his dictatorship has really been really apparent what he's gonna carry, hashtag himself only what, uh, but no, I'm kidding. But I think that just the fact that how all you guys collectively came together and now you have like sometimes what honestly it's like I ask myself after a game when there's like 100 messages or something if I need to sift through any gems non-game related, and oftentimes I feel like yeah, you know what? I don't bother. I'm just gonna go all the way to the end and be like, so, and or I'll make a stupid joke about, sportsing and stuff. Or I should just do what Asen does. He just doesn't say anything for that. He only says something where he needs to, otherwise he steps back. But
Yeah, you tag Essen and he'll be there.
yeah, right. But yeah, so interesting. So I guess a lot of the influence you would say is, and I don't know what it is about, I guess here. And the reason I asked why Raptors fan, because I see a lot of people who like teams that are not local to obviously their city, right? I like majority of people like they like, oh, I'm in the city, I love this team, I don't care how they play, I'm a like a hardcore fan or whatever, right? And then
Yeah.
there's people who like other teams for whatever reasons, right? And that's why I was just curious. I'm like, is there any other reason? Like, I mean, not that I'm into it, but I'm like, if I was into it, I would think something similar, right? I'd be like, I don't know, there's a really good player on that team. So it's really you following that player, not really the team,
Hmm.
right? But
Let me ask. I haven't asked him this question yet. But who's your second favorite team?
To be honest, I don't have one.
See,
I
I didn't think you did. Yeah,
no, there is no second.
that's it. It's the
that's
Uh,
Raptors.
that's a pretty
Ride,
cool
ride or
answer.
die,
Nice.
man. Raptors.
yeah,
Oh man, he is.
Wow.
yeah, it's just, and it's just that we live in Toronto, so obviously gonna follow the Raptors, you know?
Home team, yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that it, and then I think majority of the people are in that bucket, right?
yeah,
But like I guess coming off a ball because I don't have much to say there, no offense, guys. I guess my question is so we have the prayers coordinator, then we have this huge hardcore Raptors fan,
yeah,
then we have this guy who mashallah has done a lot of study in hadith. If you notice, guys, there's a lot of this going on, right? Like, prayers coordinator, hardcore Raptors fan. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Then you have our Fudger techs. I miss those, by the way. I really do. That was a really good
Those are really good.
like phase that we had. Like imagine just waking up like to like in the like I wouldn't really look at it when you actually sent it. It would be like later on I'm on my way to work and I'm reading. I'm like, yo, this is good stuff, right? And I know I had this failed attempt to where I would send jokes, and that was really hard to keep up. So I don't know how you kept up that
yeah.
just your
I'll
texts and stuff.
I'll tell you, man. I ran out of content, to be honest. I'll
Oh,
tell you.
really?
So
Wow.
Fudger
Wow, wow,
text,
wow,
I
wow.
think it started off. No, if I first started off as just a text, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I think I started doing just quotes, like random, like Islamic quotes. I think I did that. And then it used to be like ayahs of the Quran, I think. And I don't think I explored that too much. But then I started doing like hadiths. And it got to a point, believe it or not, I went through like, you know, the the authentic 6 authentic books.
Hmm.
I literally went hadith by hadith for like all
Wow.
6 books. Plus more, I mean, it's not just 6, there's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I think I must have gone through each hadith. Obviously, I skipped all the long ones because you can't text with that.
Mhm.
And
So
have a limit of
literally,
text messages. Remember when we used to pay for those?
Back in the day, yes.
wait,
And you would have
believe
a
it or
character
not,
limit.
yeah. But I went through pretty much all the hadiths in those
Wow.
books, which is nuts.
Mashallah. That's
So
crazy. Mashallah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite an exercise, alhamdulillah. Like it's actually it's so interesting going through every hadith because I don't think many people do that. It gives you a very good like window and insight into our religion actually, because obviously most of our
Agreed.
religion really comes from hadith.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was interesting to go, like you're going right to the source. Like there's no like um coding that, or you're going right to the source and you're reading. Obviously, I'm reading a translation, but like the Arabic text is there too, which I can't understand. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
There's
And
no there's no scheme. Hashtag Hera Perry joke. This is like, directly to the source. Karaka.
yeah, man, it's something, it's very satisfying to, like
Yeah,
it
man,
gives
that
you a
was
very
really.
good window into the religion. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
guess like
and even
all good things come to an end eventually. So yeah, sorry, Zishan, go ahead.
as I mean, even right now, I mean, I'll just do a quick call out. Like every now and then, like Ahmed Aziz will post like a hadith as well, and it's just nice seeing them randomly and how
Yeah.
it applies. Sometimes it just applies to stuff that's happening in your day. Um, so
Yeah.
it's very much appreciated. I mean, to get those reminders because we're all so caught up
Yeah.
in our day-to-day life. Yeah, you're gonna pray your fajr and all your salahs and whatnot. And you work, and when you finish work, it's family time.
Yeah.
So you don't get the chance get these little gems. So to get one of those in the morning and or whenever throughout the day, whenever you read it, is great.
Yeah.
And then with Ramadan, just right around the corner. Hey, and if you're that's a good idea. If you're down, Omer, I just want to
Yeah.
say that we're always receptive to that. So it was really nice how you did that back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed it as well. I was actually, I used to look forward to it. I used to look forward to, trying to see which hadiths I can post. And honestly, I learned so much through that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
100%. And honestly, it really it was, I think it was a good, like Zishan said, it was a good reminder, right? Excuse me. And I would say for me, like, running up my text count was amazing, but it was always good, like, to just, and sometimes, believe it or not, I actually forwarded them, like, obviously you forwarded the family and stuff, but I'd forward it to other friends and stuff too, and it would be really cool. They're like, yo, where do you get these from? And I'm like, well, I have a friend who actually, texts this every day, right? Mind you, now
Yeah.
he sends us memes every day, but he's always benefiting us, right? Like getting us knowledge, sending us memes to laugh. And before we get into memes, I had a question, Omer. Where and how did Bollywood come into all of this? Just trying to understand because I never pegged you as someone who would be a Bollywood fan, and I don't know,
Hardcore
and
Bollywood
hardcore,
fan.
man, especially Om Shanti Om, like that.
I
I just know that these guys used to make fun, right? They were like, "Oh, that's Omer's favorite song," or they'd blast it and stuff. But I didn't know he actually liked the movie. I thought it was always just them teasing him until, like, that was clarified for me. So, yes, like, where
I
did Bollywood come into all of this?
so I have to clear the air because I don't think I've ever said the story. So you guys probably think I watch Om Shanti Om every day or something.
Of
Uh,
course.
At one
no,
point we
it's
did,
weird.
yes.
It was, I think I don't know if it was first year or second year or something, but it was me, Arif, and Asin. We were going to Wonderland, and so Asin obviously picked me up in his Jetta. Uh,
Obviously.
and so
Did he let
our,
you
our
in the first
so
time in
yeah,
the
it's
car? Sorry, I had to ask.
I
um
miss what you said though.
I said, did he let you in, the very first time, or did he did he make you work for it?
Oh man.
I can't remember.
That's an end of the
Oh,
jokes.
But anyway, yeah, I just walked in and then I don't know what they asked me, but I think what I said was that I think they asked me what I was doing or something, but I think I said like my parents were watching Om Shanti Om. I think that's what I said. That's
Okay.
probably where it started from. I wasn't even watching the movie, and I'm just like, oh yeah, they're watching Om Shanti Om. I think that's what it was, and I think that's where they picked it up.
you love the
I
movie
didn't.
though.
I do like the movie. I saw that movie years later, believe it or not. I actually so I in when I was in university, I didn't watch too many movies at all.
I
Like
know.
it was so interesting. I wouldn't be able to even sit down to watch a movie for 2, 3 hours. Like I couldn't imagine that for some reason.
That's why you said
I
Brother
think on a
Omer,
year
right?
no, it's not
Like,
that. It's
I'm just
on a yearly
joking.
basis.
Yeah.
I probably watch maybe 4 or 5 movies. And but once I graduated though,
You think this is general
once I
movies
grad
or Bollywood movies?
no, just movies in general.
Movies in
English
general.
movies I watched even less.
Yeah.
And um
But you
yeah,
would watch the
once I
Pakistani dramas, right?
right no, that happened years later too. But I mean it's hard to
Good
imagine, but
question.
I was so into like just studying and well not just studying but like basketball
There it is again.
and you know how when you're in university like I I really hate that, but like studies is always on the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Always.
Like
Yeah.
that stress of I could be studying right now. I could be reading something
I
right now.
should be studying right
It's
now.
I
all
should be. I was
it's
gonna
always in
say.
the back of my head. And I think that's
Yeah.
what prevented me from watching like a full movie,
Wow. It
But then
didn't prevent
once I
us. I was gonna say it didn't prevent
And look how we
us.
turned out. Maybe we should have watched less movies.
That's true.
but I'll tell you what, so Bollywood thing, once I graduated, I realized I have so much time, and
He
I
has to
wanted
catch
to.
up. But we, s-
So
Yes.
I wanted a way to, like, I started spending more time with my family, obviously, as well.
yeah.
So with my dad
Mhm.
and my mom, and um the
Notice
best
how
way
he
I've
didn't say
found to spend
Zubair?
time.
Well, there's also another guy who lives with you, right?
Zubair, I'll
That
tell
was
you
so
what's interesting. Me
conveniently left out.
me and Zubair, we have a good relationship. So his interests are very different than mine, right? Like, I'm into sports, and I don't know what he's into, but he so
But
it's very nice because
you have a great
I
relationship, but I don't know what
But
he
I don't know
does.
anything about him.
don't know.
He's like, that's why it's a
I don't know
great
what he did.
relationship.
No, that's what makes it great.
See,
Because
there
he
you
never
go.
bothered me. Like,
Uh,
it's not like he bothered me with like, hey, Umair, what are you doing? Like, and try to like control what I'm doing. I was probably the more annoying brother, and annoying him. He was like,
Okay.
he would do his, like, he would play games, obviously. I played a lot of computer games as well. So he would play his games, and I don't know what else he would do, to be honest with you. But
he seems to be a big
yeah, like
anime manga fan, so I'm assuming he did
he
a lot
is,
of that.
yeah,
He consumed a lot of that media. Yeah, yeah.
he did. And I mean, I was I wasn't into that, to be honest. I was more into sports, and uh that's it really. Mainly sports,
Yeah.
and like my
And
Islamic studies.
sports,
But
sport. When you say sports, is it like all sports or basketball, particularly maybe some cricket as well?
um so if I'm talking about cricket, really started after, like, I stopped watching cricket, or being into cricket up until 2011, when India won the World Cup. That's
Hmm.
when I picked it up again, for sure, like pretty heavily. But before 2011, it was mainly basketball, almost just strictly basketball. And yeah. So, but and anyway, like, Zubair wouldn't really bother me, which was good. And yeah, I would do my own thing. He does his, like, yeah, I don't
Like
know.
then he had like 15 years of
I
movies to
think
catch up
I
to.
think we need to bring yeah we need to bring Zubair back Zubair onto the show and get his
I really like to
perspective of
get
all
his side of
this.
the story. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel really bad for Zubair. It just seems like this guy who sort of exists in
Yeah.
the house, and Omer doesn't know anything about him.
And then the
But
funny
he's
Okay,
part
fucked up his
is,
whole life.
we were always led to believe that Zubair was the annoying one. So it seems like,
no, no,
we're peeling the
no,
layer of this onion now, and we're finding that there's more to talk about here.
he,
And when I was on the Chile trip, and I had Zubair in my car, and he basically told me how big of a Bollywood fan Omer is. So
Yeah,
that's
what's
why we're
that
asking
all
this
about?
question,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
That's why
All
we
right,
keep
so
coming
yeah,
back
let
to
me get
it.
into.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so I have to go back a bit. So I started getting into like Islamic studies, uh, probably late like grade 11, 12, and so on. And obviously, there's a huge emphasis in our religion on spending time with your parents, being good to your parents and stuff. Once I graduated, I found that, like, my dad is very easy to like keep happy or be in good books with him. My mom is obviously a bit more demanding. Like, I would sit down and talk to her, but she would talk for hours, and I'm like, this is not working. And I started putting on movies, and I found that was easier to, you know, just spend time with her,
Yeah.
be in good books with her. And so that's when I actually started watching Bollywood movies. And I wouldn't necessarily watch every movie though, just the good ones. But when I started watching after graduation, Dawood, it was like, the old classics, like the 90s.
Yeah.
I was exploring that. Like, man, there were
That's what I
some
said,
gems
like
in
10,
there.
15 years of, catching up you had to do for some really good movies. Yeah.
Seriously, yeah, there were some great movies in there, man. I mean, not like quality wise, but just like the nostalgia factor, and
And you'd be
just like
surprised
the.
how much meme material can be pulled from that. That's like a gold mine that hasn't been touched yet, by the way, because we're still in the 2000s or the 2010s when we look at memes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just Shakti
And
Kapoor as an actor. He is a literal walking meme. Like I cannot tell you, Zishan. I know you don't know this guy, but like This guy has so much material, especially in
What's
the
his
early.
name?
Shakti Kapoor, S
Spell
H
that.
A S H A
Uh-huh.
K T I, and then Kapoor.
Okay.
Like if you watch some of his early 90s where he really switched into comedy, this is another guys, we don't need another like session for this. I'm not kidding because him, Paresh Rawal, and all these other guys used to play really negative characters. They switch like somewhere in the 90s where they switch. Like, bro, it's literally like so many memes can be made from that. I can't tell
They're
you.
legends, man.
They're amazing and very good actors, by the way. So how did you feel? Like, I know catching up and everything is always good, but did you feel like, I don't want to say, I don't want to use this word, but like, did you feel you kind of missed out? Because I'll tell you why. For me, watching these movies growing up with my cousins and like other family members, it was like a thing that we did, right? Like one of my elder cousins, he would go and back when VHS cassettes were a thing, yes, that's how old we are, fossils. He would bring in that, right? I remember this one time the VCR broke and it was really expensive to fix. So his parents were like, okay, you guys watch too many movies anyway, so we're not gonna fix it, right? And then so it wasn't until I spoke to my nanny and I was like, because they're always like, she has a soft spot for you. You go, you talk to her. So then we all like pooled some money, like the kids, and then we got Nani to kind of help us cover the difference to get the VCR repaired. So because every time we went over, my cousin would bring out the movies. Mind you, I would sleep like third way in, so like at the climax, I'm gone, like I'm knocked out because I was really young. But it was always a thing, right? Like she would get us ice cream, my cousin would go get the movie, and we would just watch it, right? So for me, that I built those memories where when we talk about it right now, we're like, oh, remember when we were kids, like Nani would say, okay, go get ice cream for the kids. Like she would tell my mom, okay, get ice cream, and then my cousin will go get the movies. So for you, like this was post, and now you're in the digital age. You just grab a torrent, you got that movie, no struggle, no VCRs to worry
Yeah.
about. But did you, not that I'm trying to make you feel bad or anything, I'm just wondering, like, did you feel that, hey, this would have been better enjoyed, or would you argue that no, you actually enjoyed it better now?
No, it's fine. I mean, I did watch movies growing up too. It's not like
Oh yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't watch any.
yeah.
We'd watch like
It's scarce.
I think four, five. Like I remember watching at least 4 or 5 in a year kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but nothing crazy like after graduation, I think. It's a lot of catch up to do.
It's like just,
Uh,
it's like when Squidward was
some
let into the vault with all the Krabby Patties, basically.
Oh man, can't
so
just eat one.
that would
Yeah.
growing up, like I found like from my memory, the funniest movie growing up, I found or what I remembered was Bade Miyan Chote Miyan.
I
I don't
was
know if
just
you
gonna
remember watching
ask
that
you,
one.
did you watch that movie? Wow, this is like, I
It
love that
that
movie.
was to me that was the funniest movie growing up. But after growing up though, I would probably list 2, 3 other ones.
I know, but like you
But
watch it now, you're like, how did I find this? Like, it's funny still,
no,
but
it wasn't as funny the second time.
it wasn't, right? And that's the funny part
But
because I saw it on TV the other day and I was
yeah,
like, why did I think this movie was so funny? This is the one with
yeah,
Amitabh
What
and
what
Govinda, right?
Govinda.
TV channels are you watching, Daud?
Yo, it's called Z Cinema Classics. Sometimes they play the old movies,
Oh,
right? So like sometimes for
got it, got
nostalgia
it.
purposes, I'll go and pull that channel, which by the way is not on your IPTV, I think.
It's
But
under UK, I think,
it's
but
under
I don't know
UK.
if this
I'll,
works.
I'll check it out
I
because the one
think
I
you can
had
check under
before,
UK for the.
yeah, the service I had before had it. So I would say sometimes just play it on, and I'm like, I would say one of the classics for me is that I still find funny, Omer, is Ishq. I don't know if you remember that movie. If you haven't, then I need to give you a list of these classical movies. Okay, so it has Ajay Devgan, it has Amir Khan, Juhi Chawla, and
Oh,
Kajol. It's so funny, man. So it's
I
again,
have
if you
not
watch
seen
it
this
now,
one.
it has some special effects that are so funny to watch now, but it's just so well done. It's still a really silly movie. Andaz
Yeah,
Apna Apna, please tell me you've seen that one.
I've seen that one. To be honest, watching it after like in the recent past, I
Yeah.
don't think I liked it as much. It's kind of silly,
It's silly, and
but
that's what it is. That's what that time like if you look at the era and all those movies, they were just pure silly fun, and you're like, I get it's funny, but it's not Hera Peri funny, okay? But it's
right.
funny, right? And now when I watch it too the other day, like I was watching it on TV as well. This is before I again switched IPTV providers, and I was like, it's funny, but I think I've been
Yeah,
spoiled by the more recent movies.
yeah. But that would I have to mention. There's a movie that I watched when I was a kid. Actually watched it in theaters in India, which I know it's gotta be one of my favorites just because of that like experience. But I think it's a great movie. Like I could watch it anytime. Yes, Boss. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
it.
yeah. Shah Rukh Khan movie,
Yes,
So
right?
what's
Boss
it
with Shah
called?
Rukh Khan. Yes,
Yes,
Boss.
boss. This is
The
before Shah
old
Rukh Khan
movie?
became big. Yeah, it's an old movie. It's from the 90s at some
1997.
point. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yes,
I
boss.
think he
That's a
was
really
famous.
good
Like he
movie.
was big then too.
He was
It's
coming up,
I think
yeah.
it's a great movie.
He was coming up,
Okay.
but he wasn't like,
He was coming up.
he wasn't like the Big
So
B or the
is
Khan or whatever, but
would you guys
Yeah.
recommend me to watch this movie like nowadays? Like
I
is
would
Yes,
it
recommend you
boss.
watch. Yeah.
yeah? Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
boss. Yeah,
Boss
yeah,
for
In
sure.
case
yeah.
in case I forget, just
It's
text it to me.
hilarious.
It's really well
Okay,
done.
That was
perfect.
like Shah Rukh Khan's comic timing is just amazing. Like
I know.
I don't know what it is, but
Unfortunately, it
he's
doesn't
really
work
good.
anymore. Like in the newer, like any of the
No,
recent movies, I would say in the past 5, 6 years, it doesn't work because
no,
I
no.
think I don't know. I feel like because now he's a bigger actor, those silly roles really don't work well. Plus, obviously, he's older, so it doesn't look good on the screen that much. But if you
Yep.
honestly, Zishan, you watch this, you'd be
Yeah.
like it's so stupid funny, but you can't help but laugh. You will find it funny, right? You'll be like, okay, wow,
But it's good though. It's not like a silly comedy
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Zishan, but
Yeah.
you have to get past I think the 30-minute mark or something
Okay.
to really get into it.
yeah.
Once
Alright.
it takes off, it's really
Really
hilarious.
good, catchy songs as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Yeah, every now and then we throw on, but like the classics. I mean, last week we watched Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham,
yeah,
and then we watched Bajrangi Bhaijaan again. So yeah, the Shah Rukh Khan movies for me, and this is the hits that everyone knows about. Those are the
yeah,
ones that I usually watch. I started watching those like maybe university,
yeah,
or yeah, I would say maybe
yeah.
before that even. Um,
I would
yeah,
Yeah.
say
so
even have you seen Hum Aapke Hain Kaun,
I
Amer?
think so.
And you've seen
Yep.
it, Zishan,
Yep.
right? That movie's
Multiple.
plot bothers me so much, but because it was so big at the time when it came, and I have like, again, I watched it with my cousin, the family, and everything. So it's like, and then afterwards at weddings, those songs would play. So we all had like this nostalgic feeling. So until recently, my wife put it on because she's like, "Oh, I'm feeling like, I love this movie, this and that." And she put it on. I'm like, I don't remember it being as great anymore. I just think like this is the most stupidest movie ever, right? And I'm so afraid
Yeah,
to go back to other movies and rewatch
yeah,
them because I feel like I'm gonna see the stupidness that because
yes,
as an adult
yes,
you see them very
100%.
differently, right? So
Yes.
a lot of the classics I've actually just avoided. Like I'd see a scene or two here and there because I'd remember it, but that's it, right? Like I wouldn't go past that because I feel like it's gonna ruin the movie for me. So
Yeah.
I'm really
But
curious how that
I
plays for
can't.
you if you haven't seen it, right?
Yeah. I can't say that about Yes Boss though. I found Yes
No,
Boss
no, no, yeah,
still
no, no, yeah.
like
But some of them,
yeah.
are very
It's
silly, right? Like,
some of them. Yeah.
You
like
know
even the movie I
the
told you, the one that says Ishq, it's such it's so stupid. If you look at the plot, you'd be like, bro, what was the point of this movie? I mean, like, that's the thing. There's no point to so many of these movies that we saw, but
And
oh my God. And then you look at it now, like the drama in the movie, right? And you're just like back then you're like, oh wow, yeah, it's so
it's like, oh my God, what's
romantic,
gonna
blah blah
happen
blah.
now, right?
Yeah, and yeah, of course they should be together. They just met. Like, yeah, of course they're meant for each
And
other.
now you're like,
And
are
you
you
look at it,
kidding? You don't know anything about this. This guy smokes. This guy looks like so bad. Like he just look, he looks like
he's
yeah,
a drifter. What are
and
you doing?
he's only been stalking him for the whole movie, so why
oh
not?
I
my
know,
God.
girl. Look at the red flags. What are you doing?
Kiran, Kiran, oh man.
Oh, have you seen that movie? The Shah Rukh Khan
I
one, the Kiran one.
uh yeah, what is it called?
Oh, Dar.
Man,
That movie's called
I
Dar,
Dar.
think
yeah,
I've seen.
Dar.
What's it
If you have
called?
Dar, it was basically a
Dar.
very iconic
Yes. I
movie.
Double
know all
R.
the I know all the songs from not all the songs, but the famous songs from
So
it.
Dar and
Yeah,
Bazigar. These are some of the most, I
Bazigar,
would say,
yes.
top movies for me where Shah Rukh Khan didn't play the protagonist. He played a really good antagonist, and I feel like those movies are so underrated. Like I like one movie, Bazigar, I would want to rewatch, but I remember parts of that movie, and I feel like again, I'm gonna like if I watch it again, it's gonna be ruined for me. So I don't know. Let's
That
see,
was I
maybe.
recently watched Bazikar, like within the last
Does
year,
it
I
still hold
think.
up? Does it still hold up?
No, I don't think I watched it the first time. So this
Oh,
was
you
my first
didn't.
time
Oh,
watching
yeah,
it.
exactly. You first time
And
watching, so
it
did you like it?
it wasn't that great. It wasn't that
Yeah.
great of a
So
movie.
then that's
No?
the thing, right?
Which is the movie in the end of the movie Shah Rukh Khan has like this pole stuck in him. Um I just remember like
Oh,
I feel like
Phir Bhi Dil
if
Hai
it gets stabbed
Hindustani,
in
right? Wasn't it Phir Bhi Dil
is
Hai
that it?
Hindustani or
He's
something?
like on top of the field there. I don't know if he was a bad guy or a good
Oh,
guy
he's
or
stuck on a
whatever.
building?
No, no, no. It's like I remember there was a
He was
pole stuck
impaled.
in him.
He's
Yeah,
impaled.
impaled. That's the word. Yeah, I can't
Um,
remember anything else about the movie, but
there,
I just remember
you're
that
right.
scene
There is a
watching it
movie
with my
like that. I
family.
can't remember. Or was it
I can't.
wasn't it Karan Arjun actually that happens before they're reincarnated?
I have no idea. I just remember, it's when you have these memories, like, just speaking about Bollywood movies, I'm just
Yeah,
having
yeah,
this
yeah. It's
memory
just
from
like
when I
little
was small
glimpses.
watching
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
movie. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, like, the other ones I liked was, Don 1, Don 2.
Oh, you like them?
You know,
I
I
thought it
liked them.
was
Oh, back
interesting
when I
twist.
watched it back then, I don't know how it is now if I rewatch it
I've
Interesting
recently.
not
twist.
seen it yet.
You know they were remakes, right, Zishan? The first one is a
Really?
remake. It's a remake of Amitabh Bachchan movie from
Oh,
70s.
yes, yeah, correct. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
those are the
And the
remakes.
second
Yes,
one,
yeah.
they just kind of went on their own, right? I like that the
Okay.
director Farhan Akhtar. He's a really good guy. He has really interesting ideas.
Yep.
One of my favorite movies of him is Karthik Calling
Dil
Karthik.
Chahta Hai. Oh, Karthik calling Karthik.
His movie with Dil Chahta was
Yep.
really good too. If you haven't seen it, Zishan, you need to
I've
see that
seen that
movie.
one.
You have seen
That's
that
the
one.
one with the friends, right?
Yeah, the three friends. Very good
Three
movie. I
friends,
watched
yeah.
it
Dil
recently,
Chahta
like
Hai.
last year,
That's
I
a good
think.
movie.
Yeah, and
Dil
Karthik
Chahta Hai
Calling
was a
Karthik.
turning point.
That was honestly, that's where I think Amir Khan just became like a totally different person. And you know what? We need a separate session for Bollywood movies with Omer, please. We got to have you back on
Omer
that.
and Zubair. Omer and
Yeah,
Zubair, because, yeah,
But
there's so
so
much we
that
can
was
talk
it.
about here. Yeah.
I don't know if you agree, but it must be said like the quality of Bollywood movies has changed in the past 10
Yes.
years.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Like the movies are, because I feel like a lot of you guys still don't watch, and Chai Chai, probably still don't watch Bollywood, but the quality has changed. It's not the same anymore. Like the story wise, acting
Hmm.
wise, it's all gone up.
Like
Um,
romance and comedy were like very silly back in the day, but now they try to add drama. But I would say that the comedic effect of Bollywood movies has gone. Again, there's always the B and C grade level as well, but the good ones and or even the I guess odd hits or odd critical hits, I have got like some amazing comedy in them. Which again, if you compare to the 90s or even the 80s era, you're like, bro, like why did we even laugh at that stuff? This is so much more like, well done. And like you
yeah,
said, even some of the actors, like it's like, they age like fine wine, right? Like Vijay Raz. You remember him from
don't
the
know
older
him.
movies?
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, you can't relate to that. Is
yeah.
that what you said?
I've never tried this aged wine that you're talking about.
I'll tell you, I tried one non-alcoholic and I just don't understand why people drink it. It tastes so horrible. Anyway, I was just really curious. It was at work and someone was celebrating something, so because they knew so many Muslims were there, so they're like, "Oh, this is
Uh-huh.
aged wine, but this is not alcoholic and everything." I'm like, "Okay, cool, let's try it, right?" Like they show me the bottle and everything. I'm like, "It's okay, let's try." I'm like, "I'll take a sip." I was like, really good. And then I told my coworkers, "Yo, why do people drink this? Like,
Is it like
what's the
sweet or just it's
no, it's
sweet or
got
it
a
just
really,
tastes?
it's got a really sour and grapey weird taste to it, and it's just,
That
I just don't
fermented
understand
smell. I
why
don't
anybody
like it.
would drink this at the end of their day. Like I'm assuming alcohol has to
Yeah.
play like a big role in this because the taste
Yeah.
wise is like I don't even know why people do it. Anyway, but my point is that look at Paresh Rawal. Look at Vijay Raj, look at
Yeah.
Shakti Kapoor, look at Rishi Kapoor, all these guys. They played these iconic Romeo type, roles, and then today they play these really iconic comedic roles, and the transition is just so like I'm not kidding, Zishan. If you watch their older movies, you'd be like, this is not the same person. Like Paresh Rawal was always like the
Mm.
most hated character in every movie he was in. And now he's the most loved, where people are just waiting for him to make the next movie because they know his delivery, his comedic like just a wit. It's gonna be so well done that you're gonna be like
Mm.
Babu Rao. Who knew Paresh Rawal as Babu Rao would blow up so much? Like, and even now, this movie's from 2000, so it's a 20-year-old movie, and there's memes about it, there's videos about it, right? Like, look at him here, he's already thinking. And the guy from the second one, the Jay Mileke Thori Gumta, right? Even him, he used to play very negative roles, right? And now, in the last 10, 12 years, guys, if you watch his movies, it's all silly, stupid roles like that. And he's so good at it that you're like, anyway, man, we're gonna
So,
come back to this.
yeah, I mean, and I guess what I wanted to let's just to summarize this
Yeah.
topic, Umair, just send us a list of the recent movies that came out. I mean, when I say recent, let's say the last 10 years or so.
Must watch. Yeah.
Yeah, must watch, right? Because you're right. None of us do watch. We all have this idea. Oh, yeah, the Bollywood movies are so extra drama,
Lame
this
and
that. But it's
whatnot. They
actually,
used to be,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, there's good ones out there like Bajrangi Bhaijaan and whatnot. Send them. Serious or funny, because we
Yeah.
always need some good movie recommendations.
I need you to write this one down, Zishan. I don't know if you have watched it. It's called Karthik Calling Karthik. Have you seen this movie?
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
psychological thriller. It's a very good movie. You've seen it, right, Omer?
Yeah. Dawood, I saw this within the last 2 years, I would say.
I
Karthik
loved,
Conquer,
I
yeah.
love that
Is it
movie. It
on
was
You
so well
did
Netflix?
do,
done.
eh?
I loved
It's
it.
a really good movie, yeah.
It's really well done. Yeah, Zishan, you need to
Yeah.
watch it. I don't know if it's on Netflix. It might be, but
Oh
write it down.
man.
If not,
Yeah.
I can text it to you separately as well. It's a really well done movie, and
Sure.
that guy is a really good actor too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice,
like
nice,
Zishan
nice.
said, to sum it up, a lot of fun stuff we talked about, and and then just like with everyone else, right? It's always tough to pack it all in, and while as much as I love to talk and keep this going, I think it's better we do this in sessions, like spread them
Yeah,
apart over like a couple of sessions, and so that we can always revisit this. So like I think we will need one just for the Bollywood movies, guys. Like
I agree. I
further
agree.
down
We need one.
whenever.
We need one for Bollywood movies. We need one for our worst movies, right?
Yes.
Like, let's talk about the movies that you hated the most. We need one for your favorite movies. One whole thing for Tenet alone. Um,
Yeah.
psychological. I mean, we could on movies. It can go on and on. And then, I mean, hey, this is just session one with Umair. There's
Yeah,
still
yeah. This is
time,
just
and come
yeah.
back and go. But yeah, let's conclude it there. Um, and Umair, thank you
Yeah,
for
thank you for making the time.
your time. Yeah,
Lots of
Thank you,
stuff,
guys. Thanks, Dawood, Zishan.
mashallah. Yeah. Thank you. Like, and honestly, I know like with all of us, inshallah, we'll get to everyone, right? And we'll have enough and I think there's enough to talk about with everyone. And obviously
yeah,
everyone has like
Yeah.
things that you when you have these conversations you discover, and we're like, okay, well, I like now I realize Omer is even Bollywood, like a bigger Bollywood fan than I thought. So like I'm thinking,
yeah.
okay, you definitely need more out of him on that topic, right? So like as Ishan said, but yeah,
Right.
Jazakallah khair for making the time, bro. Really appreciate it. We hope you also enjoyed the conversation, and obviously for our viewers, alhamdulillah, thanks again for watching, and yeah, inshallah, we'll come back once again with another episode, with another guest or
All
another
right.
topic, whatever you guys want, and
Yes.
yeah, take
All
care.
right.
Alrighty, guys.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Thanks,
salam.
guys. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam.